The Tight Five.
We're going to be talking about the European Football Championships with our man Tom Rennie. We spoke to Tom minutes after the game finished, about 10 minutes afterwards, so got him in full emotional. We've just lost another bloody tournament mode. Wimbledon, Chris Jones. Yes, we spoke to Chris earlier today too. Alcaraz beating Novak. We'll get on to that. Motorsport, and a great win for Scott McLaughlin in the doubleheader. First race in IndyCars today, came third in the other one. A hell of a crash too with Stingray Rob at the end there. Damn, that was scary. Talk all motorsport with Eric Thompson. 5 separate sporting topics right now, though, and when this goes, we move on to the next topic. European Championship football. Did the right team win Lachlan? Wimbledon. Alcaraz takes out Novak. Did the right guy win Lachlan? All Blacks versus England. Did we deserve to win that 2-test series, Lachlan? Sidebar to that, our under-20 smashed by France in the semi-final. That is a real worry. South Africa, Ireland. Did the right team win that second test? Ireland snatching it at the death. Your Broncos, because there's so many text messages that have come in here and saying, why won't Lachlan talk about the Broncos? When I arrived at work today, he said, I'm not talking about the Broncos. I don't like rugby league. I'm not talking about it anymore. The competition's over as far as I'm concerned. Well, we've got a whole hour of rugby league between 3 and 4, mate. And also we've got to mention the Donster, Donald Trump. Now, I was watching this yesterday. Let's start with this. And who wasn't watching it yesterday? And it's a peculiar way that you get your news these days, isn't it? Because your phone starts dinging first. And then you're thinking, all of a sudden my phone, there's 9 messages. Who the hell's messaging me? And it's the kids, it's the ex-missus, it's half a dozen friends. We're going, you're watching the TV, Trump's been shot, it's assassination. And you think, oh, whatever, bollocks to this. And you turn the tally on, there it is. Now, I love American politics. I love American history. I've spent a fair bit of time dragging women around America to the detriment of long-term relationships because I love history so much. I have been to the 6th floor depository, school book depository in Dallas, where Lee Harvey Oswald had a free shot at JFK. And whether you believe in conspiracies around that or not, he certainly was one of the shooters. What amazed me yesterday, Lachlan, out of everything, is the fact that somebody could be on a rooftop within 150 yards of a presidential candidate in the US and fire off a shot. Like, just with the amount of security that follows these guys around and that is the failing, isn't it? And I think that's what the narrative is going to turn to. There are 2 things about this, and I think the world was in awe at Donald Trump, the fist pump, the fight and everything else. He's going to win the election in a landslide now. Absolutely, isn't he? I mean, that moment, that image there is... Look, I don't even think it's worth having a vote anymore. That's probably going to win him the election. But were you stunned as well about how easy it seemed to be that somebody could fire a shot at him?
Yeah, I would think a country like the United States and whatever it is, whether it's a public gathering like that or whether it's an airport, or whether it's a concert or a stadium or, I don't know, a summit, something political, the security would be incredible because it's the kind of country that, based on things that have gone on, particularly in their recent history and just how massive they are.
Mate, they've been assassinating presidents way back 100 years. It's surprising.
Then again, maybe it's one of those things that you don't really think about something or where something could happen or a certain area of something possibly happening until it actually happens.
Yeah.
Maybe they just scouted the area. They got a sort of a perimeter around the rally and thought, yes, we've got everything covered and we've got a site and everything else. And there was a tiny little alcove type roof somewhere. I don't know. They just didn't see, And then now that it's happened, whenever anything like this happens, there will be every single thing that is the hint of it. There'll be guys with guns on top of people's cars. Nothing will get missed because, not saying it's similar, but with the September 11 attacks, before that, no one really even thought that anything like that would happen.
No, well, that was it.
Yeah, and then afterwards, the security...
No one ever thought a plane was going to be used as a bomb.
And then, afterwards, they completely changed all the security protocols. Now, this is a little bit different because there has been assassination attempts in the past, but maybe the landscape and the setting of it was such that there was a certain area they didn't think about it, and now they're going to think about it. I don't know.
The other thing I've got to make mention of before we move on is just the lameness of the New Zealand mainstream media. You watch Fox and CNN yesterday. It's an American story. It's all about them. What do? We ring up Chris Hipkins for a comment. I mean, for God's sake, And what are him and anyone else in the New Zealand Parliament going to say that is of any consequence? Let's move on from it. The European Football Championships. Just let the Americans play this story out, New Zealand media. It's actually happened in their country to their guy. Anyway, frustrates me because I know how these stupid newsrooms works. European Championships, you cannot deny, and we'll talk to Tom Rennie about this, that Spain deserved to win that game today, as well as the tournament, Lachlan. They outplayed England today.
Yeah, they did. I won't say they deserved it, because if they didn't score 2 goals, then no, they didn't deserve it. And if it went to extra time, let's say hypothetically went to penalties, England won on penalties, then no, England deserved it because they only conceded 1 goal. But yes, Spain played better. They were far more expressive with their style, if you will, which is how they've been playing all tournament. Their wings push up, their midfield pushes up, they create chances. England just sit there.
I think their wing backs are essential. That guy Williams especially was causing England problems down the right.
Williams is a winger. There's the guy Kukurea on who's the left fullback who plays for Chelsea.
Okay.
He's a strange one, Kukurea, because he was good for Brighton, got signed by Chelsea. He's been very ordinary, but he's been great for Spain because that ball for the second goal was just superb.
Yeah, look,
and both their goals were, particularly the first one, it wasn't a case of England just fell asleep, maybe the second goal, but at least with the first one, it was a case of quick passing, pinpoint, and Spain was just half a step ahead.
Hey, the England equaliser was exactly that as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was a beautiful turn back by Bellingham. And look, when England were allowed to play and encouraged to play, they've got the players to play.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a classic case of a coach just not being able to get the best out of that bunch of players.
No. What it is a group of players. I'm very curious about this because I don't think a group of players, when they're on the field, would happily sit back and just absorb pressure as opposed to going for a goal or winning goals.
That's exactly what I keep
So
thinking.
I would think that if you're a smart player, like if you're Phil Foden, who's played in Premier League and Champions League winning sides, wouldn't you sit there and go, no, stuff this, we've just equalised. Now we've got a bit of a rocket up our backside now. We feel great about ourselves. Momentum might be swinging our way. Let's have another crack. Yeah. But they didn't. So I don't think that's totally on Southgate. I think that's on the players. And maybe you could then something's been injected into them for them to be in that mindset by Southgate, but I don't think they're robots, these players. I don't think he commands them with a keypad. So I think part of the blame goes on them for not actually pushing on.
All Blacks versus England, we talked about extensively in the last hour. We deserve to win that 2-test series. No argument there.
No argument.
Do we need to get better?
Yes.
Are this current group of players capable of raising to a level that South Africa and Ireland are playing right now and beating those teams? This current crop of players.
I think so, because I would have said no about the sort of the crop of players that were at the World Cup. But at the World Cup, they were a crop of players that beat Ireland in a spectacular performance, and a crop of players that, based on effort and heart, backed it up in the final. But unfortunately didn't get over the line, and had a couple of kicks gone over the posts, they would have won that World Cup, the All Blacks. So they do, and it's basically the same group minus I don't think someone like Shannon Frizzell is a needle mover for the All Blacks. Now, there's Sam Whitelock and Brady Retallick, but both their bodies were breaking down towards the end, that they were rotating on who was starting and who was on the bench. So also we lost some key players, but I think we've got, like for example, Aaron Smith, he's gone, but we've got a very exciting halfback in Cam Roigard who will be the starter.
I think so.
And then you've got Will Jordan, who, all going to plan, is going to be our starting fullback, who is one of the best outside back talents that we've had in the last probably 10 to 15 years, to be fair. So I think there's an element of excitement with positive signs from these 2 tests, mixed in with some really good young talented players, mixed in with a coaching group that, based on their Super Rugby success, should do well, and also a couple of injured players that I actually think are massive needle movers.
I think we're lacking probably 3, 4, maybe 5.
I just think it's experience.
Players,
I honestly, I'm not going to say that, it's a group of players who haven't played much together and they're rusty. Not that, but it's similar to what, was it Justin Marshall or Chris Jones, one of the two, saying about Steve Borthwick, where all he says is his team needs is just experience winning together. I think that's just what this team needs.
Okay, I think we need an injection. I don't know where we're going to find 4 or 5 players that I need.
Well, no, but I think you can get an injection from Will Jordan, who can break a game open. You can get it from Roigard, who's brilliant in and around the ruck.
Well, we need a centre. We need something happening to the loose forwards. We need a number 7 that's not, Dalton does nothing. I still believe we need another lock that is as good as an Itoje, or somebody that can actually come in alongside Scott Barrett, and we're going to have to do something about the wings because they're not strong enough under the high ball or carrying the ball.
But this is also a team that the bones of pushed South Africa all the way and beat Ireland last year.
That's absolutely true. All right, quickly then, South Africa and Ireland. Yeah, just a brilliant test match to watch. In fact, both of them could have won either test match. And I think there was a hell of a series, 1-1. Can't wait for the third test in that series. But oh, that's right. World Rugby were organising it.
We had 3 test series for about 10 years.
Yeah, there's only 2 tests.
Why are they back to 2?
Yeah.
That prop for South Africa, Nietzsche, I think has how you pronounce his surname. His bowling ball, battering ram.
Got to finish on this because your Broncos, Lachlan, you've lost 6 in a row. 6 in a row, okay? Can you still make the 8?
Yes, we can.
Do that. Referee, give us the try thing again. People want to hear it. Do that again. Come on, you're at Mount Smart. You're getting dicked by 50 points. You're 13 years old.
12.
You're 12 years old. You're surrounded by Warriors fans. The referees, the TMO's looking at it and you're going, what?
Yeah, I'm standing up. Ref, I want the try.
Want the try, ref. And then you get roundly abused.
By about 3 or 4 separate fans who all stand up and tell me that there's a few F's and C's thrown my way, and I'm sort of like, geez, I'm a 12-year-old kid, lads. All right.
Okay, give me a percentage chance of the Broncos making the 8.
Well, we've got the Knights this weekend who are beatable. We've got 7 left. We need to win 6. I'd give us, to make the 8, I'd give us 7%.